Dostoevsky's many works are not only foundational to literature, but also psychology, faith, and philosophy. He's often regarded as one of the grandfathers of existentialism alongside Soren Kierkegaard. The culmination of what Dostoevsky finally believed after a lifetime of studies, suffering, and reflection can be found in his last and greatest novel, Brothers Karamazov. With its powerful themes of faith, freedom, and the origins of evil, Dostoevsky's final novel remains as relevant today as ever. Unfortunately, many in academia and elsewhere insist that the riveting and provocative chapter entitled The Grand Inquisitor is the central theme of the novel. It's not by any stretch of the imagination, except, of course, by willful ignorance. Before we begin, please like, subscribe, and comment down below with your own thoughts on Dostoevsky's masterpiece. To be sure, The Grand Inquisitor is a staggering achievement and one of the greatest chapters in all of literature. The YouTube channel Feeling Philosophical has a great summary of it that I linked in the description down below. In terms of literary brilliance alone, one might understand why it's often been taught separately from the rest of the novel in academia throughout the years. Sadly, the overarching reason is that it's presented as a refutation of faith in Christianity, a notion academia is all too happy to foster and encourage. In fact, Ivan Karamazov's brilliant diatribe against faith in Christ is actually a reductio ad absurdum on Dostoevsky's part. If you're not familiar, Merriam's dictionary defines a reductio ad absurdum as a, quote, disproof of a proposition by showing an absurdity to which it leads when carried to its logical conclusion, unquote. Ironically enough, those of a secular mindset insist the Grand Inquisitor is in fact a reductio ad absurdum on faith itself. Nothing could be further from the truth, at least according to Dostoevsky and the brilliant suppositions of faith he puts forth in his masterpiece of a novel. As literary scholar Anne Fremantle puts it, quote, Dostoevsky's own faith derives its strength from the fact that he has himself passed through atheism and come out the other side, unquote. As such, Ivan's arguments in The Voice of the Inquisitor is hopelessly compelling from a godless vantage point on purpose. Dostoevsky is not trying to build a straw man of an argument that would only encourage accusations of sophistry. Instead, he argues that if there is no God, then the Grand Inquisitor's positions and consequent indictment of Christ hold true. That's why the Inquisitor imprisons Jesus and condemns him for his teachings with syllogistic precision, making it seem abundantly clear that godlessness and reason are the only way to benefit humankind. And those clamoring for a refutation of the Inquisitor in equal measure, fueled by an even greater syllogistic logic by the figure of Christ, are sure to be disappointed. And again, that is also Dostoevsky's overarching point in the chapter. The only response Jesus gives after the long and compelling indictment against him is for him to simply give a gentle and enigmatic kiss to the Inquisitor that echoes Judas kissing Jesus in the New Testament. Shocked, the Inquisitor sets him free, and, as Dostoevsky writes, quote, the kiss burns in his heart, but the old man holds to his former idea, unquote. In other words, it seems the Inquisitor knows that Jesus embodies truth, but his own pride and hubris disallow him from realizing it, according to Dostoevsky. Faith, and more precisely, faith in Christ and the unconditional love it engenders toward all of humanity, is not irrational, but beyond reason, according to Dostoevsky. It hovers high above it and can't be contained within the reductive spheres of logic and argumentation. Here Dostoevsky echoes Kierkegaard's leap of faith that he so famously expounds upon in his own philosophical works. Dostoevsky himself responded to critics of Brothers Karamazov that sneered at his joyous recognition of faith after such an arduous struggle, even after providing such a brilliant counter-argument to Christianity in the Grand Inquisitor. Quote, "The dolts have ridiculed the reactionary character of my faith. These fools could not even conceive so strong a denial of God as the one to which I gave expression. The whole book is an answer to that. You might search Europe in vain for so powerful an expression of atheism. Thus, it is not like a child that I believe in Christ and confess him. My Hosanna has come forth from the crucible of doubt." Unquote. Aside from the beautiful symbolism of Christ simply kissing the Inquisitor in response to the condemnation he receives, Dostoevsky's profound and most realized arguments for faith are found in the character, Father Zosima, the mentor of the novel's hero, Alyosha Karamazov. And here we get to the actual heart of Dostoevsky's Brothers Karamazov, and it's not the wild, brilliant rantings of Ivan. The heart of the novel resides in the teachings of Father Zosima, who, alongside Alyosha, perfectly embody Dostoevsky's vision of faith as he came to see it in his arduous journey toward Christ. In the chapter From Talks and Homilies of the Elder Zosima, we arrive at Dostoevsky's conclusive statement on faith and meaning in the world. And don't just take my word for it either. Professor Victor Terras of Brown University, who wrote extensively on the works of Dostoevsky, insists that the following lines are, quote, "the master key to the philosophical as well as to the structure," unquote, of Brothers Karamazov. Dostoevsky writes, quote, "Much on earth is concealed from us, but in place of it we have been granted a secret, mysterious sense of our living bond with the other world, with the higher heavenly world, and the roots of our thoughts and feelings are not here, but in other worlds. That is why philosophers say it is impossible on earth to conceive the essence of things. God took seeds from other worlds and sowed them on this earth, and raised up his garden, and everything that could sprout sprouted, but it lives and grows only through its sense of being in touch with other mysterious worlds. If this sense is weakened or destroyed in you, that which has grown up in you dies. Then you become indifferent to life, and even come to hate it. So I think." Unquote. These lines are the culmination and heart of all of Dostoevsky's endless rumination and reflection found in his works that led him to Christ, beginning with his very first novel, Poor Folk, in 1845, the infernal doubts found in The Idiot, and finally, the beatific and beautiful understanding found in Brothers Karamazov in 1879. Have you read Brothers Karamazov? What are your views on the brilliant novel? Please like, subscribe, and comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts.